Going live.
Yay, going live. And we are on Facebook. I can see us.
We do seem to be live.
We are. We're there. I can see us.
Up and make sure that the volume's off.
Yeah, just turn my volume off as well.
Oh, there you go. She's that Emma Jane Sadler.
Again. I thought she was having a break, that one.
No.
She needs to do one. I don't know about having a break.
Oh, Sally Cowell's with us. Hi, Sally. I gave
Hi,
Sally a
Sally.
shout in the group for she's just finished knitting a sweater for her husband Joe, and it's
Ooh.
It really is an excellent colour. It looks great on him. Beautiful cables and really nice details.
Well done, Sally. I bet he loves it.
It's an Americanite pattern, and it's wild wool. I've not used it myself, but Sally says it's fabulous.
I've not heard of that one.
It's not one I'm familiar with. I don't know what your quarantine is today, but I've got builder tea, and I seem to have got lots of spills around my cup from earlier in the day. I have my mug through the day.
I've got Earl Grey, and I actually have a glass of water that I've been drinking, which is unlike me.
Yeah, maybe you're a bit dehydrated.
Well, I just thought I should drink more water. Maybe that will help.
I finished off my Prosecco last night.
Was it very good?
It was all right. I had fizzy indigestion afterwards, though.
Oh, no.
That wasn't quite so good, but it was fine. I had some Renatadana, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I did put a post in the group earlier, and it says, if you're lonely, dim all the lights and put on a horror movie. After a while, it won't feel like you're alone anymore.
Because someone will be watching you.
Did you feel to my bizarre sense of humour?
I don't think I've ever watched a horror movie on my own.
I don't really watch a lot of them. I watched at a friend's house, Fright Night.
All right.
The vampire one. And that completely creeped me out. And everyone made such a fuss about American Werewolf in London. And I don't think I slept tonight for weeks after watching that. It terrified me.
Really?
Yeah, and it wasn't what you saw so much. I mean, obviously, I'm talking to a decomposing dead friend was, a bit odd.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was as they leave the slaughtered lamb. That's never a good name for a pub, is it? And if I see one called that, I'm not going in.
Right.
Just for reference, that could save your life one day, that one little tip. But as they leave the slaughtered lamb to wander across the moors, having been told not to be on the moors, and you can hear it chasing them, and the sort of rising terror in these two men. And then one of them hears his friend being killed, torn apart, and it's just, and it isn't what you see, it's what you don't see, it's what your own mind does.
Yeah.
And I know the special effects are awful compared to what they can do now, but I don't know that I'd ever watch it again, even though I know what's coming.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
It's very clever, and some of it's actually quite funny.
The worst one I've ever watched was The Ring. Have you ever seen it?
No.
Well, again, it wasn't the movie itself. My friend came round to my house when my kids were quite little, and it was brand new out. And we watched it, and then she went home, and I went to bed. Now, in the movie, this girl, she comes out of the TV, when it's on the white noise.
Yeah.
And this big girl comes out of the TV on the white noise thing. The phone rings or something, and then this girl comes. Anyway, middle of the night, there was a funny noise, and I went downstairs in the front room, and the TV was on the white noise. Well, that freaked me out, I tell you.
Well, it would, wouldn't it? Naturally so.
Yeah, it really freaked me out. I couldn't even really tell you much about the movie.
Yeah, not my kind of thing, I must admit.
No.
I said I was doing some crochet. I don't know how useful they'll be, but apparently a lot of the medics are getting very sore ears because of the elastic and the ties from their masks. So you can make these little mask mates. These are crocheted. It's quite a difficult colour to show you. It's a very light green called pistachio, and I'm struggling to get you to see the detail, but it's basically a little oblong, slightly curved edges, and you put buttons either side. They need to be 1/2 inch to 1 inch to catch the elastic or the ties. Right. Otherwise they work their way off, and that wouldn't be good for masks. They're machine washable, and I'll put them through the machine once I've got buttons. I've made 11, and there's these 3 on top of that need buttons. I'm going to have to go.
Where do they go?
Stash. It goes at the back of the head.
Oh, right, okay.
Because someone dresses you with your PPE.
Yeah.
They put it on for you.
Right.
So it's at the back of the head.
Yeah.
Instead of the elastic going behind your ears and really hurting your ears, and it can cut into them.
That makes sense, yeah.
Then you can hang it on the little button, and these will stretch a little bit.
Yeah. So
that there's some give and it's less painful.
I don't know why, but I had it in my mind that it goes across your nose to stop your nose from getting sore.
Do you know, if anybody thinks that's a really good idea, give us a shout. We'll figure something out. But no, they've got most of the sort of, I know in America they call them N95 type masks, where they fit around. They've got actually a padded bit on the inside, so it's maybe not as painful as it might be if it's elastic that's quite tight around your ears and stuff.
Especially for hours.
Well, when you're doing hours at a time, yeah, it can't be good. And I figured if I can't donate them to the hospital, then maybe the GP surgery will be able to use them, or
yeah, care home,
health centre, or because there'll be lots of people wearing masks that don't usually wear masks. It's just the nature.
Yeah, it's something to get used to, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
And I know I've got very sensitive skin, and anything like that really hurts me.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought, here's something I can do. And I used a 50-gram ball and made 11. I've got to pull out the 11th and adapt it slightly, because I only had a tail of about 2 inches left. It's a bit of a yarn chicken. So probably what I'll have to do is make that one of the smaller ones. Right. Some of them are about 3 inches. Some of them are up to 5 inches. Obviously, people have different sized heads as well. And if you've got a big head, then you might need a smaller mask mate or...
Yeah.
But yeah, cool. I just figured that somebody might be able to be a bit more comfortable, if nothing else.
Yeah, it's a really good idea.
Yeah, it's some Rowan All Seasons cotton, and I used 50 grams to make 11. So that's not bad, is it? I mean, it's quite an expensive yarn, and I am a bit disappointed that it's not 100% cotton at that price.
What is it then?
It's 40% acrylic. I mean, it's fine. You can wash it at 40C. I might experiment with a couple and throw them in at a 60 wash.
Yeah.
Because that would be ideal, and I can use the steam iron on them afterwards to help as well.
Cool.
But the idea was to have something that they could wash and reuse.
Yeah. That's really good.
But there's a lot of people making them. There's a couple of free patterns on Ravelry. One lady's charging for a pattern. One lady's done a crochet and a knit version of her pattern, and that's a free one.
Yeah.
So if you just search for mask mates, anybody that wants to make them, there are knit and crochet options. If you're going to knit, please do them in garter stitch, because if you do them in stockinette or stocking stitch, they'll roll, because the pearl side of the fabric, it takes up more space than the knit side, so the fabric will curl and it'll make it harder to use. So.
And also it's probably not got as much give, you know, like that little bit of elasticity to adapt to a head shape.
Yeah. Garter's wider, and it sits flat, which is the biggest help. Stockinette will stretch quite a bit, but if it's constantly curling, it makes it harder to get to your buttons.
Yeah. And
if somebody's dressing you in a hurry, they need everything to be as easy as possible, don't they?
Definitely, yeah, without a doubt.
So I've just picked up my blanket.
Let's have a look then. So what colour are you in?
I think it's pistachio green.
Very nice.
And I'm on the 4th repeat, which started with this copper colour here.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many repeats I'm going to do.
Just how you feel, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's what's left of.
You've still got quite a lot, haven't you?
Each ball. So it is supposed to make a single bed size. So I don't know, I might carry on. It's at a lovely size at the moment, where when I finished working on it, I just sort of fling it round the other way. And I was really glad of it this morning, because it was quite cold in the house.
It's been chilly all day. I don't know about you, but we've had no sun at all. It's horrible out there.
It's really sunny here.
Right.
And in the sun, when you're out of the breeze, it's beautiful. But there's quite a wind, and it coming from sort of north and east. It's hitting both the front and the back of the house. And this morning in particular, I think the silicone sealant around my double glazing probably needs replacing.
Right.
There's obviously a pinhole or two in that. And I'm sat there thinking, what is that noise? And it was like a flaming harmonica going. It's, in about 5 or 6 different tones. And then and up again, and it's the wind from windows. So I've recorded it with my phone so that I can send it to the Housing Association and just say, at some point in the dim and distant future, when somebody's passing me some silicone sealant, can I have this done, please? Because it's hardly urgent, and it's certainly not important.
It's just a little bit annoying.
Yeah. But it was fun. I just turned the telly up and ignored it. Pretended it was someone in the house having fun with a kazoo.
What, like my one the other night?
Yeah.
Freezing going for a walk this morning. In fact, it was 4 degrees when I walked Arthur.
That's quite chilly, isn't it?
I'm thinking I possibly
need to go out and sit in the car for 10 minutes and just turn it over.
Yeah, I should really do my car, but it's not happening today. Maybe tomorrow. Nothing's happening today. I told you, I'm in my PJs. That's it.
I don't know if it's a bank holiday in the US, but it's a bank holiday here. So
not that it really makes much difference at the minute, you know.
So I'm just sniffing occasionally because there's some meatballs and homemade tomato sauce in a pan.
Very nice.
And I'm just sort of having the odd sniff to make sure that it's not cooking a bit fast.
I made a chilli this morning, but I think it was about 11 o'clock I put it on. I didn't want to eat at that time, but I didn't want to get back up again. I was going to go and sit down. I was like, right, that's it. Everything that needs doing is getting done now, or it doesn't get done at all.
Well, we all have those days where we just can't be bothered, should we say?
I think I'm having a bit of a weekend of it, to be honest.
Well, there's no harm. Rome isn't burning. Well, I hope it's not.
My mother-in-law would say there's no spoiling.
Well, no. My mother's sort of come up with the same attitude. I phoned them yesterday about 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Generally, they're out till quite late with church in the morning, and of course, they're not doing that now. And she says, "Oh, I've just finished Zoom." I said, "Oh, okay. What have you been zooming?" "Oh, well, we have our sort of church servicey bits, and Jim or whoever's doing the servicey bit does that. And then we have a big old natter. Well, you can guess which bit takes all the time." So they've been having a good old clack, all of them, and I think they all enjoy seeing one another's faces. I think
it's nice,
suddenly
isn't it?
this technology is actually interesting. You know?
Yeah, because before it was just the geeks and that were using it, wasn't it?
Well, we were using it for work,
Yeah,
stuff, interviews and things like that, because it's really handy. But unless you actually had a reason to, then you'd have never looked for it, would you?
I was watching the MASH report the other day, and the guy, Nish Kumar, was saying Zoom has got a new tagline, which is "No, we can't believe our beep luck either."
Well, there's a meme keeps doing the rounds of Fred from Scooby-Doo, and where he unmasks the villain at the end. When he takes the mask off, it's Zoom.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Or it could equally be all the PPE manufacturers, or
Oh, it could be anyone.
Repurpose that meme for anyone, couldn't you?
You could, couldn't you? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. I practiced my flute again. I can now play Jaws on my flute.
Go on then.
Oh God, I better watch it.
You can't boast about this and then not prove it.
It's really, really difficult, One. Right, okay. I think I've got it right. What do you reckon?
Love it.
So yeah, and then I was starting to learn hot cross buns, but I'm not so good at that yet. I'll have to practice that. That took me 2 days to learn.
Well, I dare say that it's not that easy, on the basis that not everybody learns, do they? So there must be some effort involved.
Well, I've had that flute for about 10 years, and that's the most I've ever been able to play on it.
Has she got a name yet, or have you just been cursing?
No, she hasn't got a name yet. I feel like maybe I should call her Mary. I feel like she should be a Mary, maybe. I'm not sure. She's not talking to me yet.
I'll also let you know what she wants to be called when she's good and ready.
Yeah, when she's ready. My car's called The Beast.
What, from X-Men? Or...
just because it's like a big car that can go everywhere and anywhere, apart from little spaces, obviously.
Well, yeah. Well, it could, but obviously the damage would,
Yeah. Probably the damage to other things rather than to the car.
Yeah, possibly.
So. I'm making a baby cardigan.
Oh, is this a new one?
No, it's the one that I was making before I ran out of wool, didn't I?
Oh gosh, yes, and you sent off for it, and then you can destroy it.
So it's got fronts, and then I'm now doing the hood. So it's gonna go up and then turn into a hood.
Oh, that's gonna be cute.
Yeah. So it's got front button bands. I did those.
What's the matter, Kofi?
Everything just seems to take so long, and I started to do my jumper yesterday, my cardigan. So the neck's all finished. That's the front.
It's looking
all
lovely.
done now. But I need to sew up and then steek it. But I think I should do that when I've got a bit more oomph about me rather than now. I don't want to go wrong with it.
Yeah, you need
So
to make sure your sewing lines are nice and straight and exactly where you want them to be. And
exactly, yeah. So
I find for sewing that I have to be in the right mood. Honestly, it took me longer to sew the buttons on those wretched mask mates today than it did to make them. So really what I need is someone who loves sewing on buttons that I can just drop them off with.
I think I can manage like one or two, but when you've got 11 things that you've made with two
Yeah,
buttons each, it's just
yeah.
far too much, isn't it?
Well, and it's Aran yarn. So I've been having to
Uh,
play around with needle thicknesses and things like that. And because you've got this length of yarn, what I've had to do is go with a finer needle and take half the strands to do the first bit of sewing on, and then take the other half to do another layer over the top of that.
have you got any of those? Like these
Sorry?
really cool needles with the plastic loopy bit?
No.
They're pony ones, right? And then obviously, so you can put your yarn in there, and then the plastic flattens right down so you can put it through your button. So it squidges.
Well, I've never seen those.
They're really cool, aren't they?
Well, why didn't I know about those?
I don't know, but I got them in a set of 3. That's the biggest, thickest one, that is.
Right.
The thinner one's by my bed, which is obviously the last place that I used it. But yeah, they're really helpful, those.
Oh,
You need
okay.
some of those.
Thank you. I'll have a look at those.
Pony.
So
Pony
even I
those.
have a chance of being able to thread those. I mean, I dread putting buttons onto baby stuff because I've got to use sewing thread.
Yeah.
And if I can see the eye of the needle, I'm doing well. Let alone actually push 2 threads through.
Yeah. I don't even know where I got
It's so
those from.
easy. It used to be so easy. I want a refund on this body because it is really not fit for purpose anymore.
Well, things keep going wrong all over the place, don't they, at the moment?
Well, in this gravity business.
Oh, gravity just needs to do one, doesn't it?
And stuff moving so that you can't see it anymore.
Yeah.
Don't know what that's all about.
Well, yeah, it's a bit mean, apart from anything, isn't it?
Isn't it just?
It's like someone's having a joke. Well, they can stop it.
It is. I am halfway through a Harry Potter film today. What's everybody else watching? Are you binging or?
I binged yesterday. Jesus Christ Superstar all day long. Caitlin comes to me and she went, "Is that the 3rd time you've watched that?" And I was like, "Yeah," and I might have listened to the soundtrack while I was doing my housework.
Were you singing?
Sorry. I was singing very loudly, and I was doing it again this morning to wind Callum up. I woke him up with my singing. But just think that Jesus is just so cute. I'm sorry. I mean, I know he's gay, but there's nothing wrong with window shopping, is there?
Well, you know.
And
it's amazing how fussy you get when you don't stand a chance, isn't it?
Oh no, he's lovely with hair. I've seen him with short hair, and he's got quite big ears, like, you know, what's his name? Alexander Armstrong type ears.
Okay.
And he definitely looks better with lots of hair. Cover them over. It's fine. Bit of beard. Yeah. And just sit and watch him. It's fine. And then, yeah, I have been singing quite loudly. And because I walked the dog at 6 o'clock this morning because I was wide awake from Callum, I had it on and listening to it very loudly in the fields and singing in the fields as well. Nobody's there to hear me. It's great.
Well, I don't know if anybody else of my age group, and we won't discuss what that is because obviously that would just be rude, was a bit sad to hear about Tim from the Goodies.
Tim Brooke Taylor.
Yeah, and, you know, sitting there sort of in my head singing Goody Goody Yum Yum and doing the funky gibbon around the living room because, you know, that was my childhood.
Wasn't he in a sitcom with Nigel Havers?
Oh, possibly. He's been in lots of things. Lovely man.
I've got a vision of, do you know, like opening titles with a typewriter?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. Something from the deep recesses of my mind. I can't quite picture his face. I was a little bit annoyed actually because I always watch ITV in the morning, and it come across the bottom, you know, where they have the headlines at the bottom,
Yeah.
and it said that Tim Brooke Taylor had died after contracting the virus. But and I didn't watch the whole programme by any means, but not once did they actually talk about it.
Well, they did a nice little tributey bit on the BBC, and whoever had put the bunch of clips together had picked some absolute corkers. It was very good.
Well, see, BBC are much better then, aren't they?
I rarely watch ITV. I mean, I'll watch things like Vera, but I don't watch news or anything else on ITV.
I do watch The Breakfast because I find it less samey. The BBC you can only put on for so long.
You only need to watch the first half an hour. You don't need to watch anymore. So I watch the first 30 minutes and then I'm gone.
Well, I like to have it on in the morning in the background while I'm doing other things. So I don't want anything that's too interesting because it distracts me. But I don't want anything too samey, and I find that the ITV one just enough, do you know?
I need to go and check. The Coco's telling me I need to go and check the meatballs.
Well, you should go and check the meatballs then.
I'll be back momentarily.
You need to do as you're told, otherwise you'll be in trouble. And you know, Coco obviously can smell, and she knows when the meatballs need checking. So it's probably a really good idea to go and do as you're told. Was it just me and Emma Jane Sadler? Anybody else there? Shout hello to me. I'm feeling really, really tired. Like I could nod off to sleep at any minute today. Definitely going to flag soon. Meat, Mom, meat. Where are those meatballs? I'm sure there must be a song about meatballs. Is it the Swedish Chef? Hurdy-gurdy.
Sorry about that.
Meatballs. Is it the Swedish Chef?
Well, a bit like meatballs? That, yeah.
Yeah. Hurdy-gurdy wordy.
Hoofen.
I remember the Swedish Chef. He was brilliant. Even Caitlin knows the Swedish Chef.
I always loved Beaker.
Oh, Beaker was brilliant, wasn't he? I used to work with a guy who looked exactly like Beaker when I was about 20. And oh, bless him. I worked for what was Lloyd's TSB at the time.
Right.
And in a service centre thing, I used to find money that was lost. So if somebody had sent you money to your bank account but had quoted the wrong bank account number and it got lost, and I used to find it for you. Anyway, this guy who looked like Beaker, he was so funny. Me and some of the women were talking, and this one woman was saying about how her husband was going in for a vasectomy, and he was told that you have to have sex so many times before it's all clear, and you know the danger was past, as it were. And this guy, bless him, he sort of like, he was over the other side behind his computer, and he just sort of like popped up from behind his computer with his little hand up like that, and I went, I'll have a vasectomy if somebody would give me somebody to have sex with that many times. Oh, poor guy. Yeah, he did. He looked exactly like Beaker.
Well, just an update on the meatball situation. I've just put a little bit of sweetener into the sauce because it was a little bit tart. And gave them a stir and then turned the heat off because it doesn't need anything else doing to it just yet. And we've got some grated carrot in there, some
nice.
sliced red onion, and some frozen sliced peppers. So later on, what I will do, being a sneaky parent, is remove the meatballs from the sauce, sit them in a dish, and then I'll get the stick blender out and blend the sauce until it's smooth. And then put the meatballs back in and then cook the pasta later. So it doesn't look like there's any veg in it other than a bit of tomato.
There you go. See?
No, to be any otherwise. He messaged me a few minutes before we went on live. And I usually get something like, oh, have we got so-and-so in the fridge? Or is there any of this? Or, supply shopping from his bedroom.
Yeah.
But I got the mince yesterday for the wraps. And it was just some taco seasoning or something I had in the cupboard. And it said how much to use. So that's what I put in with the mince. And vaguely tasted it and didn't really think any more of it. But apparently it blew his head off. So
okay.
I'm calling that a win.
Yeah. Well, obviously he's got his taste back, which is good.
Yeah. I mean, he said that it was really, really spicy, more spicy than expected, but it was tasty and he enjoyed it. But to be honest, with the amount of cheese he grated on top, it's a wonder he could taste anything other than red cheddar. But...
Well, obviously.
Yeah, there's a little bit left. I had some leftover pasta from yesterday, so they got mixed up together and put into a dish. So that'll probably be my lunch.
Nice.
Yeah. Just some pasta with some cheese and broccoli sauce. It wasn't anything exciting, but it'll probably take the heat out of the...
It'll probably be just nice, won't it?
Should be.
Well, we got a new coffee pot, and do you think Callum and I can get the amount of coffee right that we need to put in there?
Doesn't it tell you?
Yeah, well, it says, we recommend 1 scoop per cup. But, we do that and it's too strong. Next time we do less and it's too weak. We'll get there eventually, I'm sure we will. We're just not used to it yet.
All sounds a bit Goldilocks to me.
It really is. It's so funny. It probably doesn't help that I don't like it quite as strong as probably Callum does. But then he goes, oh, it's fine, I'll just add sugar to it. So, well, that's a completely different taste. You can't just say that's too strong, so I'll put some sugar in. It doesn't work.
No. We don't drink a lot of coffee, I must admit. Jake used to have 2 teaspoons of coffee per small mug.
Right.
And I can't drink my coffee like that. That's far too strong for me. So I tend to have a latte or a cappuccino in the morning in silence.
I don't like lattes or cappuccinos. Even before I just discovered I can't drink milk. I could just about take a mocha, and then that's it. I have mine black.
Jake's been drinking those ones.
Yeah. Mocha's more of a hot chocolate with a bit of coffee, isn't it?
Yeah, this is more towards the coffee with a little bit of hot chocolate. But I mean, you can taste that something's in there. But I don't know that it's particularly chocolatey. But he likes it, so it's fine. The sachets were cheap enough. Well,
if somebody enjoys it, then it's fine, isn't it?
Well, yeah, as long as he's not having them late at night or something silly. You're going to have to get some earplugs.
Do you know what? I was thinking last night, I'd been in and I'd shouted at him and I'd threatened to turn the blooming internet off and everything. I don't know what was going on, but he was right into a flipping cod marathon. So then I went and walked the dog, come home, and he's still on there. I think he eventually went to bed about 9, and then he got up again maybe 1, and he's back on it again now. I can hear him in there.
Oh, I had to let him get to sleep for about 10 minutes and then violently hoovered his bedroom.
Well, I was gonna, and then I just couldn't be bothered to get it out and be dealing with the dog, and so I decided to have a singing fest instead. And,
that's a good idea. What, on the landing?
Yeah, so I've just been singing Jesus Christ, superstar, really, really, really loudly, you know.
Awesome.
Yeah. Do 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 do. Go around the house doing that all day long. It's fine.
Yeah, I find that's the perfect time for a whamathon.
Oh yeah.
Very
Yeah.
loud, wake me up before you go or something like that.
See, I would, but he probably wouldn't mind that quite so much, which is why I've gone for something that I knew that he wouldn't really like. You know, because Gethsemane isn't the easiest song to listen to when you're trying to sleep. Or, you know, Judas's Death.
No, perhaps not.
Yeah, they're a little bit jarring when you're trying to snooze. So it's possibly why he's up again already, because we had it very loud.
Good.
And then, you know, shouting up to Caitlin, "Are you out of the bath yet?" You know, so
it all sounds perfectly fair to me.
Fine, isn't it?
Yeah, what colour do I need now?
I don't know.
Meadow.
Are you still on the greens?
I am. Meadow, then Cypress, then Lincoln. That's not very Lincolny green.
It's got to be called that for some other reason other than Robin Hood then, hasn't it?
I guess so. But I don't know. When you say Lincoln, I've got this Robin Hood, riding through the glen. Robin Hood, band of merry men.
Yeah. Men in tights.
Yeah. Oh, I love Men in Tights. I like Mel Brooks. Not all of them, but
yeah.
Blazing Saddles. It came out at just the right time. Have you never seen Blazing Saddles?
Yeah, I think
where
so.
they're all farting.
Where they're eating the baked beans.
Yeah.
Yeah, around the campfire. Yeah, I have seen that. But many, many, many years ago, that's probably about the only bit of it that I can remember, to be perfectly honest.
I just thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
And there's one that he did, Spaceballs, with John Candy, plays this big dog-like creature.
I have seen that many, many years ago as well. I absolutely love John Candy. Well, I did love him, bless him.
Oh, I love John Candy. But yeah, it just makes me laugh that Mel Brooks plays Yoda and he wants you to feel the Schwartz.
Feel the Schwartz.
May the Schwartz be with you. And it's just
oh, I love it.
It's absolutely brilliant. And the dog is called Bath.
Yeah. Sounds like
so much childish humour that as a teenager it was just so anarchic and fun, and yeah, loved it. And I think in Blazing Saddles there's a Marlene Dietrich type character.
Right.
Who sings this song, I'm so tired. And it's all about, I've had thousands of men again and again. And all in that sort of uber cabaret style. And it's brilliantly done.
Like it.
Madeline Kahn, I think, plays it. Yeah.
I was very big into the Rocky Horror Picture Show when I was a teenager.
Oh, I loved that. I still can't jump to the left and step to the right because I get left and right mixed up. I usually jump the wrong way.
Just as long as you're on a line on your own, it's fine. You can't bash into anyone.
Yeah, I just have to keep out of everybody's way. And that's fine at the moment with the social distance, and I'm not going to jump on anybody's feet. Oh, cool.
Caitlin's form tutor is called Janet, and every time she comes home, well, when she was at college, every time she would talk about her tutor Janet, I'd be like, damn it, Janet. And she'd be like, oh.
It's because, you're a parent and you're awful. You're just so embarrassing.
Actually, the guy who is the hunky Jesus actually played Brad on in the Rocky Horror Picture Show in London recently. So, yeah. I would have liked to have seen that.
Kind of a rite of passage, isn't it, going to see the Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Oh, isn't it just?
And singing the songs and doing the dancing, and
it is a bit creepy, really, when you think about it.
yeah, well, yeah. And how many blokes have, I don't know what it is about these so-called red-blooded males. But I've got friends who were in the Navy, and they said you'd be at sea for 6 months and someone would decide to do what they're called a sods opera.
Yeah.
And half of them would be required to dress up as women, and they all had bras and outfits and all the rest of it.
I bet they did. I never forget, not long after Phil went to work out in Saudi, and you're talking in those days we used to write actual letters to put in the post. I think he could have only been out there about 6 or 9 months, and I got a letter through the post with a photo of 2 women, and one of them was apparently my husband.
Yeah.
Tarts and Vickers.
Yeah, it's amazing that they've got all of this.
Yeah, where they get it from, you never know, but yeah. You got to keep entertained somehow, I suppose.
There was a video on Facebook the other day from Ulverston Pantomime Society, and they did their version of the S Club 7, Reach for the Stars.
Oh yeah, I love that song.
Yeah, it was quite well done. It was very well edited.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've done a good job with it. It was funny.
Cool.
I've missed a colour.
Oh no, what have you missed?
Well, I've started with Cypress, and what I want is Meadow.
You actually said Meadow.
I did, and then my brain went off on some sort of challenge somewhere. I don't know, to the Himalaya and back or something. So there's the Meadow.
There you go.
We'll try again with that.
You going frolicking
thing with crochet, you can just pull it out, and you've only got one stitch to worry about.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, so I'm done with the cooking and everything for the day.
Are you done with Jesus Christ Superstar?
No, I think I might have to. Well, I may have ordered the Blu-ray DVD. So we'll just have to wait until that comes. It's not on the internet anymore. That was my excuse why I binged it so many times yesterday, because it was only on for 48 hours. So I said to Caitlin, I have to watch it because it's going off. And then the thought of it going off, I was just like, no, I'm going to have the DVD of this. Because it's the new version from 2012. It's really good. It's all modernized, and it's more like activists. They're activists, and Caitlin's going, oh, so who would Jesus Christ be? Because I made her watch it, and I said, oh, he's like Greta Thunberg. So she gave it 6 out of 10.
Oh well. Yeah, they were advocates for change.
That's basically what it was, wasn't it? Really.
That's why it wasn't popular. Change never is with whoever's
Change
in
is
charge.
never popular. Well, that was the thing, wasn't it? They just didn't want to give up their power. Basically, they felt threatened.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I really like it. I forgot how much I really enjoyed all the songs from it, because obviously watched it many moons ago. I watched the movie version, and Caitlin and I tried to watch it the other night, and I don't know, I just didn't enjoy it. But when I watched the show the other night, I really, really enjoyed that. Mel C as Mary was brilliant, because she's got a much better voice than you remember.
She's a very good singer.
She is a very good singer, and she was mesmerizing as Mary as well. But one of my favorites as well, obviously, like drooling over Jesus because he was just gorgeous. Tim Minchin as Judas, and he was just, his voice is just amazing. Because the songs are actually really difficult to sing, aren't they? You forget how difficult they are.
Yeah. Well, it's like you get a group of people together to sing, and they all want to do ABBA, but they don't realise that like so Agnieszka's got a much bigger vocal range than most singers, you know, kind of double the vocal range. And you just think, yeah, some of these songs are really hard to sing.
Yeah.
And it might take three people to cover the same vocal range, you know. Well, it's like the Freddie Mercury tribute concert.
Oh.
Pretty much everybody had to have the music changed slightly to accommodate their voice and the lack of range compared to Fred.
I would say pretty much the only one that came close was maybe George Michael that night.
He was brilliant. Somebody to Love.
Yeah. Unbelievable. They're having a party up in heaven there, though, aren't they? Bless them.
There'll be quite a few joining at the moment.
Prince, he was another one who was
Eddie Large and Tim Brooke Taylor will be sat in a corner telling jokes.
Well, they can write a play for them.
Do you know, I remember when Eric Morecambe died and how sad I was?
Oh.
You know, on radio too, it was some interview thing. It must have been on a Sunday or something like that. You know, when you're a kid, it's kind of a dead day, isn't it? A Sunday. It's,
yeah. All it is, oh God, I've got to go to school tomorrow.
Yeah, nothing going on, bloody blah.
Yeah.
And there was this interview, and then they were reading out letters or comments from listeners, and this guy had written in and said that his little granddaughter, who was about 7, was really upset at the thought that Eric Morecambe had died. And he said, well, obviously, he'll be in heaven now, and he'll be with God. And she thought about it for a moment, and she said, won't God laugh? I just thought that was lovely.
Oh.
What a sweet way to look at it.
It is, isn't it?
My mother was in bits crying.
Yeah. Well, kids are brilliant though, aren't they?
Well, they're so practical.
And they're a lot more resilient than you think they are. I don't know if he's still missing, but my stepdaughter had lost their cat. He'd been gone for days. I think he might still be missing. But I'd said to her, because she was like, that's it, I'm never having a pet again. It's too sad. The kids are beside themselves and stuff. And I was like, yes, I know it's sad, but that is precisely the reason why pets are good for children. Not only are they good while they're still around because they teach you responsibility and all about love, but they teach you about loss as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to cope with it and you know, that yes, it hurts and it's awful, but you do move on and you don't necessarily get over it, but you learn to live with it, don't you?
Yeah, it just reminds me of me telling you the other week about Jake and that hamster.
Oh God, yeah.
that was resilient.
That was something, wasn't it? Bless him.
The stress I had worrying about that, and then he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
Can I be scare electrics out now? Kids.
Oh, they are funny, aren't they?
Worry yourself sick about how they're going to cope with stuff, and then they're more mature than you are.
Do you know what? I found that over the years, though, 9 times out of 10 they cope with things better than we do because they're not set in their ways as much as we are, I think.
The brains are more elastic.
Yeah. Yeah. Whereas me, I'm very set in my ways and I get cranky if things are different and wrong. Well, kids just go, oh, all right, it's different today. Is it? Oh, we're doing that today, you know? We just, right, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah, Coco's gone back to sleep. That little bit of fuss was just the announcement of a nap. Honestly, it's like a large furry toddler. It smells like a dustbin.
It's very important to let you know that.
Yeah, are you having a nana nap this afternoon?
Me, definitely. I'm going to go and sit on my bed and just, you know, maybe put the telly on or whatever. And if I get tired, just push everything to one side and nod off. I think it sounds like a lovely plan for a bank holiday Monday, don't you?
Sounds like a very sensible one to me. Why would you be worried about anything else?
I've not got to go anywhere. I've not got to see anyone. I've not got to do anything.
Not expecting any visitors, are we?
No. I mean, I've got loads of housework to do, but like I said to you the other day, I just can't seem to get any enthusiasm up at the moment, not for housework.
No, I can't always. Oh, Dory's in the house and Amanda's with us.
Woo-woo.
Hi, ladies. What have you got planned today? Have you got anything exciting?
Probably off, gallivanting on a bank holiday Monday, as you do.
Yeah, bottom of the garden and back, and
yeah,
Costadale utility shed to do the laundry.
Going a pub crawl from the kitchen to the front room.
Yeah, strategically placed glasses around the house.
Yeah,
sounds good to me. I just fear
that
I'm too much of an amateur to do it justice.
Yeah.
More likely to complete the circuit if it's cups of tea, to be honest.
There is actually a marathon where you get a glass of wine every so often.
All right.
I don't know how anybody actually completes the marathon. I wouldn't be able to drink it.
All the stress on your kidneys and your liver.
I know. I mean, they can't have it once every mile, because I don't think I could handle 26 flipping glasses of wine.
Well, I don't know, 3-4 miles in, I'd be K-lied.
Exactly. And I don't even think I could manage one every 2 miles, because that's still like 12.
Yeah. I think you've got to do at least 5 or 10 miles before you get a glass of wine. My goodness. I suppose at least by the end, you don't care if everything hurts, because you've got that little bit of anaesthetic running through your system.
There is that. I did do a chocolate run once. It was for, I think it was an autism charity or something. And it was a 5K. And you got chocolates at the end, but also they were handing them out to you on the way round.
Okay.
And I made the mistake of trying to eat one of these chocolates while I was running around, thinking, oh yeah, that's a good idea. It's got sugar, it'll give me a bit of energy. Well, because your mouth's dry and you couldn't swallow, and I was chewing and it was just clogging my mouth up. The biggest mistake ever.
Well, you'd struggle to breathe, wouldn't you, as well?
Yeah, it was awful. So I can't recommend to do that. Do the run, by all means, just don't eat the chocolate. Save it till the end.
Yeah, you need a pocket or a bag or something to put your booty in.
I know. It's just me all over, unprepared. Think things are a good idea when they're clearly not. Woo! Peekaboo.
Yeah, feeling good. So what's the plan next? You've got your hood. Is it front bands? Is it an all-in-one band?
Yeah. No, for the hood, no, because I've done the front band.
Right, I'm with you.
Pick up there for the hood.
Right, okay.
Yeah. And I've got the sleeves done. I just need to put them in. That is my least favourite job ever, I think.
What, seaming sleeves?
Well, yeah, I mean, putting those sleeves in there. It's not fun.
See, I don't mind that bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's no fun on a tiny preemie size, I can tell you that.
Well, this is supposed to be 0 to 3. So it's huge compared to the one that you did.
Yeah, that'd be about an 18-inch chest or something.
Yeah, something along those lines. In champagne white, which is just coat cream.
Cute. Very cute.
Yeah, quite like it done now. Do you know, like when you've been doing ribbon, do you cast off in rib?
Now the answer to that is it depends.
I don't like it, because I've done that just normal, and I think I've got a lovely, nice, neat line. I don't like it when you like cast off in rib.
It hasn't got the same stretch though that a ribbon cast off would have.
Yeah, but I don't think it needs the stretch there, really, to be honest.
See, it depends. Sometimes I'll do a row of knit on the right side of the band and then cast off knitwise on the wrong side to give purl bumps, because it just gives a nice attractive edge and it looks quite proud sort of next to the buttons and then this bumpy edge.
Right.
Quite like that. And I'll sometimes do it for cuffs, but if it's the lower body, I've got to have some stretch for my lower body. So I'm probably going up several needle sizes and casting off in rib.
I mean, the lower body, yeah, you need the thingy there, but I don't think on that, because it's just the button band.
Well, your button band, you don't need a lot of stretch, but you obviously need it to be wide enough or deep enough that you don't have to block it to death every time you wash it. You know, it's my pet hate when you see patterns made up and the button band is too tight and it pulls the cardigan up.
Yeah, it's not an attractive look, is it, really?
No, it's not. But, you know, that is one place where you do want a firm edge.
Yeah.
Because you don't want that stretching too much and you don't want it shrinking either.
Some things we want to shrink, that we don't.
No, we don't. That's good. I'm on my setting row of meadow now.
Beautiful. You're zipping along there, aren't you?
Well, I don't know.
It's
quite a while.
I've done everything that I'm going to do on that jumper for a few days, I think. I wanted to get the neck done, and it's nice and snug to the point where until I steek it, there's no way that's getting on me because I wouldn't get my head through it, which is what I wanted.
Right.
But yeah, I'm definitely not in the right frame of mind to do any more work on that. So I work on my cardigan. I've got my behind the green door cowl. I can that is the perfect project to just pick up and put down. Do you know when you want something to work on but you don't want to concentrate? Perfect. Because obviously it took me a while to get the pattern in my head, probably longer than most people because I'm just a bit like that. But once the pattern's in your head, that's it. You're gone, aren't you? You're away.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing.
Nice, easy one.
Yeah, I like that one. So I might pick that up a bit later on. This is going to be easy. I've just got to get so far up and then cast it off and then sew it together and put the band on, set the sleeves in, and it's finished. Nearly there. I might make some booties. See how I feel a bit later on.
Well, do what you're in the mood to do. I think that's the best thing at the minute. Be kind to yourself. No, lots of people are saying, oh yeah, you need to come out of this with a new skill, learn a language or something. Yeah, all good and well, but we're all making changes. We're all coping with other stuff. We're coping with other people in our household who perhaps aren't coping as well with change. I have to say, Jake is loving this because he just lolls about in bed, turns up when he wants food or washing, and I barely see him. It's just business as usual here.
Yeah.
It's not.
It is kind of like that. Well, for my two, it definitely is. But for me, for all that I am happy being at home, I am missing some parts of just being able to get in the car and go off and see someone for a coffee if you want, I think.
Is it that you miss actually being able to do that, or is it the thought of it? Because I think Jerry Springer tells a story about his dad, because his parents obviously fled the Holocaust.
Right.
And because he was born in London when they arrived here, and then they moved on to America. And he was on about his father and saying that, his dad was getting old and a bit more frail and not so good with the car. And I thought I'd better have the conversation with him about, well, you know, is it not time to get rid of the car? And his father grabbed him by the hand and he said, son, you never know when you've got to go. And it was just that innate belief that he'd fled for his life so many times. He needed the security blanket of the car being there so that he could leave if he had to. It wasn't that he wanted to go anywhere.
Yeah.
It was that he could.
Yeah.
And I think that's possibly what a lot of people are feeling at the moment. The loss of that ability, when the reality is they probably spent most of the weekend at home anyway.
Yeah, because, I mean,
the great majority of the population, you might have a few family come round, but most people would have had Sunday dinner at home.
Yeah.
With a variety of relatives and friends popping in, and they're missing that bit, but they've still had their dinner at home. And you know, every morning that you wake up and every night that you go to sleep is a blessing at the moment, because there's, you know, best part of 1,000 people a day that aren't doing that at the minute.
I know, it's awful, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think for me, it's a kind of, be careful what you wish for, because you might just get it. Do you know, like I was always, I'm so busy. I want to spend more time at home. I don't want to be going out. I don't want to be doing that. And then all of a sudden you get it and it's like, but I quite like doing that. I want to do that again.
Yeah, I miss having a coffee with my mate Jackie and stuff like that. But, you know, it's not the end of the world, is it?
No, not for me at the moment anyway, luckily. It's, you know, like you say, it's been awful for some people. And I am very lucky. I've got a nice big house and I've got a nice garden and I've got a lovely field across the road that I can just go and wander around in for my hour if I want to.
Yeah.
I could have it so much worse.
Yeah, we're keeping out of the fields at the moment so that them two aren't anywhere near the lambing or anything else if anybody's late lambing. But
we haven't got any lambs.
And to be honest, they were sort of cooped up while I was in isolation because I couldn't really take them very far at all. They'll need to get Mocha out on some road walks because their claws are a bit long.
Yeah, get them run down a bit.
Yeah, I may have to dig out the dog nail clippers. Then you'll hear the howling where you live on the opposite side of the country.
Oops.
Their mother was embarrassing when she used to get her nails clipped. She would howl and screech like a banshee. And I picked her up from the vet. She'd had her hip x-rays before she was bred.
Yeah.
She had her annual injections and a couple of blood tests just to make sure everything was okay. And she'd been for an eye test with somebody in Preston. And I picked her up at the local vet. And I'm sat in the waiting room thinking, oh my goodness, how embarrassing. I wonder whose dog that is going, and
yours.
Oh my goodness. How long has that been going on? 2 hours. 10 minutes,
oh God.
37 seconds. And I thought, no. And I just said, oh, well, it won't be Poppy because she rarely makes a noise. And out comes this dog going, oh! Thank you.
You had to eat your words.
Yeah. I apologise profusely to all the staff. This singing dog. Yeah, and then she peed all the way along in excitement all the way across the waiting room. So well done, class act.
Arthur does that when we go to the vets. You could walk him around outside and tell him to do a wee for 3 hours and he wouldn't do a little bit. But the minute you take him inside and somebody shows him some kind of affection, that's it. Wheeze out of excitement. He's a nightmare. It's an embarrassment.
They're used to it.
Yeah, I know, but it's still embarrassing. Yeah.
I wouldn't be rid of them. No, not for all.
Oh, excuse me.
Right, so it sounds like it's time for your nana nap.
I think it is time for a nana nap for me, I'm afraid. I'm going to shout at my son before I go.
I'm quite lucky. I don't have grandchildren just yet, so I don't need nana naps.
Second one on the way for me.
Second nana now, or second
No,
grandchild?
second grandchild. Got a grandson, haven't I? And this is going to be my granddaughter.
Well, that's a full set, isn't it?
Yeah, we don't need any more now. We're sorted.
So how much have you got to do with your hood?
Quite a bit.
Oh yeah, baby's heads are quite big, aren't they?
Yeah, it's got to go up like that, and then yeah,
that's fair enough then. Right, well, I guess we're going to say goodbye for today, and thanks everyone for tuning in. And if you've got a project on the go, let us know about it. Do post in the group. I posted a photograph of Sally's sweater that she made for her husband and finished this weekend. So we'd love to see what you've got on the needles, on your hooks.
Definitely.
Or any weaving. We haven't seen any weaving, have we, in the group?
No.
Lots of beautiful tatting. So yeah, love to see what craft you're on with. Do let us know.
Definitely.
And we'll see you tomorrow.
Toodles.
Bye.